Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a highly requested tutorial on this eye because you guys are crazy, like legit cray. This is the eye look I was wearing in my ride or die videos, and I even said, I think in the first video, I am not recording this look. I've done this look a million times and I'm not going to do it again. I think I was even wearing this eye look in my, what is it called? My Q&A. I think that's what I was wearing in that one, and I've done a similar one so many times. I was like, I'm not going to do it. You guys have seen it and I didn't think you would want to see it because, well, I've done it a million times. But this is also my go-to look for fall. Pretty much anytime I sit down and I want to get out the door and just do something, this is what I do. So it's also my go-to fall look. So I figured I could kind of knock two birds out with one stone. I can't talk this whole video, just so you guys know, it just wasn't happening for me. But these lashes did make it a little bit more smoky. I probably went a little ham or whatever, but this is what I was wearing on my eyes for those videos. I used my Ride or Die Kat Von D palette, and I will list the things that are on my face down below. And yeah, so anywho, if you guys want to see my go-to fall look, also known as my ride or die eye look, then you can just keep watching. To start off this look, I already primed my eyes using MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot per usual, and then I went ahead and I set that with this yellow tone shade right here, and I'm just going to move right on along into this. I really want to use my Tom Ford brush, but it's going to be part of my haul, so I don't want it dirty. Sacrifices. I'm going to use my MAC 217, and I'm going to grab this shade right here. Sorry guys, I'm not even going to try to add in the names of these and whatnot because I can't even say them anyway. So this shade right here I'm going to use as a transition shade, and I do build it up quite a bit. So I go from inner corner all the way to outer corner initially. So when I'm first placing the product down, that's where I want the majority of the pigment. And then when I've got that blended out, I will usually take the excess on my brush and kind of bring it out right here in like a V shape. I just feel like this elongates my eyes a little bit, and I like the shape it creates. So I've got my transition shade down, and I'm going to stick with the same brush, and I'm going to use this shade over here. I guess this is called the neutral side. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, honestly. I'm going to get that on the tip of the brush, and I'm going to go more precisely into the crease here. So back and forth windshield wiper motions first. Then I'm going to grab a little bit more, do the same thing, but then start buffing upward. So it's not going to cover up the transition shade or anything, but I want to work it up because when I look straight, I don't want that to be completely covered. I don't want to look straight at somebody and not be able to see it. So I like to just relax, look in the mirror and see if I can see the color or not, and then I can decide how high I want to bring it upward. And just change the position of your brush and whatnot, and it really helps to blend it how you want it to. Now I've got that how I want it, so I'm going to grab this kind of reddish brown shade here, same brush still, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to tap it on this outer corner. That's where I want the majority of the pigment, so that's where I'm going to start off first, and then I'm going to start wiggling in circular motions and pushing it up into the crease right here. And I'm taking this one about halfway in, and I am going to build on this, so I just keep going back and forth, tapping it and then pushing it up. I like to go and tap off the brush and get the not majority, but a lot of the excess product off, because I'd rather build than go crazy in there and then not be able to blend it out. Not that I usually have any trouble with her shadows. I mean, obviously this is a ride or die for me, but it still makes my life easier. Now I want to flick this up a little bit, so I'm very, very lightly, like almost no pressure on the brush, flicking this up here just to add a little bit more of that red tone upward, but I'm not putting the same amount of pressure that I did down here. Switching brushes, I'm going in with the Sephora Tapered Pro Crease something number 19, and I'm going to grab this shade again, tap off the excess, and I'm just going to go lightly, again, very little pressure, right around the edge of this to make sure I'm not losing any of that oranginess. I really like that oranginess to peek through on the edges. Switching brushes yet again, I'm grabbing the 221 from MAC, and I'm going to grab a little bit of this black shade on the tip of the brush, tap off the excess, and then I'm going to start placing this very softly, because this shadow is pigmented, right on this outer V. So I'm kind of tapping it and just wiggling. I'm not really picking up the brush when I'm blending this out. I'm just kind of almost vibrating the brush, if that makes sense at all. So when I get that laid down, then I bring the excess into the crease. So I'm kind of making like a little C shape right here. No additional product on my 217, and I'm going to go right around the edges of it. Again, this is one of those things where if you're closing your eyes, you don't see anything up here. Depending on your eye shape, I would bring it up a little bit. So when I close my eye, or not close my eyes, but just look straight, I want to be able to see this, so I do bring it up just a little bit, just on this outer corner, not all the way in because it'll make it a smoky eye, but only on this outer corner. So I'm barely touching and just barely smoking it out. And then I'll go in again with a 217 and just blend. Now with a MAC 242, and the reason why I'm grabbing this one is because it's synthetic and it's going to lay down the product a little bit more intensely. And I'm going to grab this shade over here, the white one in the cool middle part. And I'm just going to start on the inner corner and then tap it out. When I get the majority of the product over here laid down, then I'll start tapping the excess right into that red shade and blend it into it. Then I'm going to pick up a dot, tap off of that reddish shade, and just merge those two together again, just so that you don't lose the red. Pretty much anytime you want a product like this, the white, to be more intense, use something like the 242 because it's going to lay down more pigment than anything with a natural hair to it. So now I'm going to go in and grab my, well, I'm going to put a little bit of, I think I put some white up here, so I'm going to do this first. Just right underneath the brow arch and blend down just a little bit. And then we're going to add in Nylon. Okay, so this is MAC Nylon. I'm going to go in with that same 242. And I'm going to pop this on the inner corner right here. It really brightens up. And I'm going to place a little bit right here underneath the lower lash line. And then a tiny bit, literally only at the brow arch. I do not suggest blending this down a lot. I like to just take my finger and soften it up a bit because it'll be too much. You just kind of want to have that arch of your brow lifted. You don't want it to be like highlight city all across the brow bone. So if you wanted to, you could totally leave it like this for the top. I am going to do the bottom lash line, but I did one more step with this because I wanted to be extra. I wanted to have the glitz on there, but I wanted it to be easy. Now this is a limited edition product, but you guys asked for this video and this is what I did, so I'm going to do it. Sorry. This is Regal Affair, and this is a color drenched pigment from MAC. This came out not last Christmas, but the Christmas before. And what I love about this stupid thing is that I literally can just take my finger, rub it in there, and then press on. And I've got a little bit of glitziness to the eye. It's not dramatic. It does not really change my eye look as far as like so much glitter that it just overpowers it. It just kind of gives it this really pretty subtle, glowy sparkliness to it that I really like. So if you don't have this, if you have any of the MAC pigments, pressed pigments, like Enlightening would work really well. There's a lot of the range of the silvery and the gold, the lighter ones. Those will all work. Or you could grab this. This is Reflex Gold from MAC again. And this is either Pro Store or online only, but it is a glitter and it literally reflects gold. It's so pretty. Let's see. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it's stunning. But yeah, you could totally use that. Just do not use too much because the whole point of it is for it to be soft and be able to see the actual eye look through the glitter. So my most suggested would either be Enlightening, I think it's Enlightening, something like that, Pressed Pigment, or this one. Lower lash line, grabbing my trusty NARS contour brush. It is not a pencil brush. I gotta like tell myself to say that. I'm gonna grab this shade here that we use for the transition and pop this all underneath the lower lash line. And then the reddened brown shade, and only on the outer half of the eye. And then literally a dot of the black on the very outer corner to meet up with the other black right up here. For liner, I'm using MAC's Rich Ground Fluid Line and a MAC 209. And I kind of roll my brush in the product like this and then paint it on there. Make sure I get all the bristles. And I'm just going to do a line across the lash line. Oh, and just so that I clear something up, Enlightenment, or whatever the heck it's called because I can't remember, all the pressed pigments other than Jet Couture, they're gone. So I was just saying if you had it. This is the only one that is permanent that you can still get your hands on MAC. So just FYI. Now I'm going to do my lashes. I'm going to use Chanel, Le Volume de Chanel on the top and then Extended Play from MAC on the bottom. I've got my mascara on, so I'm going to go on put some false lashes on. In the video, I had on the Demi Wispies from Salon Perfect, but I ran out of them, so I'm going to use these. I really love these a lot as well. I use these all the time. So these are Kiss Lashes number 11. So I will be right back. Okay, so I kind of feel like these lashes make this look a little bit more smoky than it was in the other video, or could it be just me, you know, like me going ham with some shadow? But either way, these are the steps that I use. You could tone it down if you wanted to, or even make it even more bold, but this is it. And then I did add in my MAC Chromographic pencil in NC15 NW20 on my inner rim. I did it off camera because I forgot about it whenever I was doing the shadow, and then like I have to really make sure I'm precise when I've already got my mascara on, otherwise my lashes will end up that color, so we don't want that. I will have what's on my lips, what is on my lips listed down in the description box below. It is different than what was on my lips in the last video. The last time it was MAC Yash and Ray of Sunshine, but I changed it up today. Making sure there's no lipstick on my teeth. Anywho, so this is the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know if you did by giving a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.